I am Rico Bullford, and this is Uncut News. Topping tonight's broadcast is news that Guyana has received another $35 million from the oil. The Ministry of Finance on Thursday said, quote, the Natural Resource Fund was yesterday credited with $35,063,582. This represents payment by Shell Western Supply and Trading Limited for Guyana's second lift. The total holdings of the NRF as of June the 11th is US $94,921,803. The second 1 million barrel oil cargo was lifted last month. This brings the total revenue collected so far from profit oil and royalty to almost $95 million, with royalty payments for the May export still pending. Shell Western Supply and Trading Limited has been contracted to lift the country's first 3 cargoes. Guyana is expected to have 3 more lifts before the end of 2020. In more Exxon news, after suspending operations due to the Rona, 2 of ExxonMobil's drill ships are now operating at full capacity on the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana. Senior Director of Public and Government Affairs, Deidre Moe, told the newsroom that they have returned to developmental drilling, but with some restrictions to protect the health of the workers on the ships. However, the restriction of international air travel has affected the changeover of the foreign crew members. Usually, workers come to Guyana to work for several weeks and then return once they are relieved by another foreign worker. But ExxonMobil and the government have since established a process which has enabled the company to transport more workers into the country. They are screened, processed, and placed into isolation facilities both here and abroad. For clarification, the 2 drill ships in question, the Stena Karen and the Noble Tormadden, are the ships that drilled the initial oil wells, while the Liza Destiny, which has basically been working non-stop throughout this time, is only there to extract the hydrocarbons from the well. Don't be left behind in the Stone Age. Biometric fingerprint locks are high-tech security devices that enable you to use your fingerprint. Screw keys. Contact Triple B's on 682-8326. Remember the name, Triple B's Enterprise. Now for crime news. Spreadsheet Mingo's day in court has ended after Nunlaw withdrew the case against him due to insufficient evidence. However, Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire was none too pleased about this and accused the lawyer of wasting the court's time. In fact, George Wiltshire was preparing to impose the full $450,000 court fee onto Nunlaw alone until his colleague, attorney Devendra Kissoon, made representation for him to the Chief Justice. Instead, she decided to award regular course to each of the defendants. What? You thought Mingo was going to go to jail? Of course not. Only poor people go to jail in Guyana. And on that note, another thief man bites the dust. On Wednesday, moments after robbing a Linden business, 22-year-old Devin Batson of First Aluisma Linden was shot dead by the same businessman who pursued him and his accomplice. According to a police statement, the 2 robbed a hardware store at gunpoint and escaped. However, the businessman, who reportedly is a licensed firearm holder, chased him down and shot at them. Police later found Batson with a gunshot wound to the hip. However, he died while receiving medical treatment. The dead man's accomplice was apprehended at a house in Victory Valley in Linden. A short while later, police found an unlicensed firearm with matching rounds, in addition to a mask, and of course, the items stolen from the hardware store. One East Coast businessman is counting his losses after a major fire destroyed his workshop this morning. Chivo Auto Body Workshop at Dennis Street, LUSIGNAN, was burnt to the ground before firefighters arrived. Employees were able to save 3 vehicles, but intense heat prevented them from saving the others. The fire left millions in losses, which include at least 9 automobiles which were parked in the yard at the time. The owner of the shop says that he had been operating his business at the location for about 2 decades now. Unfortunately, he noted that the building was not insured. When you think it's time to stop corning up your feet and move up a tier in life by owning your own motor vehicle, think BM Soat Auto Sales. They make owning a car easy with their in-house financing and low monthly payment plans. Give them a call on telephone number 231-8451 or visit their showroom at Lot 9 Crow Street, Georgetown. In political news, incoming CARICOM chairman and Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves, on Wednesday said, quote, "Straight and plain, CARICOM is not going to tolerate anybody stealing an election," end quote. He declared during an interview on NCB Radio in St. Vincent. He went on to say, quote, "When you take part in an election, there is always a chance that you will lose. And if you lose, as Sir Arthur Lewis said, take your licks like a man." He also urged GECOM to take into account CARICOM's soon-to-be-released report on the recount and to use the report numbers to declare a winner to the elections. At this point, I'll be glad when it's over. This is just embarrassing and the world is watching us. The Ministry of Finance Wednesday night said Guyana's Treasury does not have any cash to bail out GUYSUCO. The Finance Ministry, in a carefully worded statement, suggested that monies would be facilitated from another source, saying, quote, "The Ministry of Finance notes GUYSUCO's request to the government for a bailout and wishes to assure that it is actively seeking to assist GUYSUCO to access funds that are available to it to mitigate its present challenges. Notwithstanding, however, the prevailing national circumstances, coupled with the challenges of the Rona and a reduced national income, render the Treasury incapable of providing a bailout to GUYSUCO," end quote. The release went further to note that another payment from the sale of state assets should soon be coming. However, Uncut News took a look at the numbers to find that the Treasury is actually billions of dollars in debt. How bad is it? We'll tell you all about it in tomorrow's broadcast. The business community is not the only one concerned for the potential of civil unrest. The U.S. Embassy in Georgetown has issued a security alert to its citizens ahead of the election's results. The alert, which was issued on their website, said, quote, "It is possible that large crowds could gather at government venues. U.S. government personnel have been advised to take precautions to prepare for any unexpected disruptions to their normal routine," end quote. It also encouraged U.S. citizens to avoid large gatherings and demonstrations as, quote, "Even peaceful demonstrations may quickly turn violent," end quote. Well, with all that's going on in their country right now, I guess they would know a lot about peaceful protests rapidly turning violent. We end tonight's broadcast with this story. If you think elections in this country are mad, listen to this. Deadlocked elections in the US state of Idaho was recently settled over a coin toss. According to the newspaper The Idaho Statesman, last month, contenders Carol R. Davey and Brock Fraser each received 36 votes for the position of Republican Precinct Committee Chair in Ada County's Precinct 1915. A Precinct Committee Chair is tasked with encouraging people to vote, typically providing a line of contact between voters and the political party in the local election. According to Idaho law, when either a primary or general county elections are tied, the winner is declared by a flip of a coin before the county clerk. Davey called heads, but the flip came up as tails, meaning Fraser won. Now, get this. This is not the first elections in this county to be settled by a coin toss. A spokesperson for the Ada County Elections Office told the newspaper that races in 2012 and 2016 were also called in this way. In fact, it was candidate Fraser's second coin toss election. Oh my. Reporting for Uncut News, I am Noriko Bulford.